Hello, everyone. Meteorologist Mike Mihalik here. It's weather update time, and we have quite a bit going on here on your Friday, July 31st. And with me today is meteorologist Brad Miller. Brad, how you doing out there?
I'm doing okay, Mike. Hard to believe it is the last day of July, and August begins tomorrow. We've got NBA playoffs, we've got hockey playoffs going on,
That's right.
baseball.
Yeah,
So it's a kind of a weird year. And you know what? We have hurricanes to talk about, and we have
that is true.
Hurricane Isaias.
Yeah,
Isaias.
let's get a look at that right now.
Yeah, it's hard to
There we
believe
go.
we're in
There's
the
the
ice storm
satellite.
already. Yeah, late July here, going into August. But there it is. It's just to the north now of Dominican Republic and Haiti, otherwise known as Hispaniola. Just making its way through the western Bahamas.
Yeah, just north of Cuba now.
Yeah,
Getting a
it's
little bit
uh, it's
closer.
it's starting to get its act together here. It became a hurricane last night. It kind of weakened a
Hmm.
little bit early on our Friday morning, but it looks like all signals are pointing towards this storm to continue to strengthen as we go on into the upcoming weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it will gain some strength as we go through the next couple of days, but currently it does look like the low level circulation. You could kind of see that rotation there in those low level clouds, and that big convection, those big thunderstorm
Hmm.
areas are more off to the eastern side of the storm. So that kind of shows that it's having a little bit of trouble right now, but we expect that to change a little bit
Yeah,
as we go through the next
I was
couple
going to say
days.
that the circulation is a little bit disrupted right now. You have a little bit of dry air coming into the south side of the storm, probably because the winds over there are from the west, and it is bringing some dry air from off the land there. So I think that's also going to help to keep it at a weakened state for the moment. But once it gets a little bit further away there,
Hmm.
Mike, it is going to probably start to strengthen here again over the next 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah, I do think so, especially over that warm water. And those islands in the Bahamas, they're not, very mountainous at all. So they're
No.
very flat islands. So that shouldn't disrupt the circulation too much. It did slow down a little bit, northwest at 16 miles an hour now. It was 20 yesterday. And we are expecting that to slow down as we head in the next couple days as it approaches Florida. And I do think, Brad, that this thing, I like this track. It's going to get very close to Florida here. I don't know if it's going to make a landfall, but there are some models going in different directions too.
Yeah, there's kind of two camps out there right now. I mean, guidance is going to be back and forth here over the weekend. Some are going to go west, some are going to go east. But the bottom line, Mike, it's basically if the storm stays relatively weak, and I'm not downplaying a weak
Hmm.
Category 1 hurricane here, but if the storm stays around that 70, 75 mile per hour, storm
Hmm.
wind, it's probably going to stay a little bit on the western side of that track there. But if it does strengthen a little bit faster and it starts to maybe get towards a Category 2 hurricane status, then it may be more along the eastern side of that cone of uncertainty there. But either way, like you said, I like the cone that the Hurricane Center
Hmm.
has out right now, and that's all you can do at the moment. It's going to probably fluctuate a little bit east and west here over the next few
Hmm.
days. But beyond that, of course, is going to be the big question: is how close does it get to the Northeast next week?
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, I mean, areas around, I'd say Cape Canaveral, north of Miami, those are the areas to watch along the Florida coastline for any type of impacts. And then heading into North and South Carolina, right about near the border there, it looks like there might be a secondary landfall
Hmm.
if it does touch Florida. And then beyond that, might weaken into a storm, eventually turns into extra tropical storms. So it's losing those characteristics a little bit, but it'll still be strong heading up
Yeah,
here just off the coast of the Delmarva and then heading in, potentially eastern
Cape
New
Cod
England.
area. Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that all plays out, but the uncertainty gets a bit larger here because we're talking about Tuesday, Wednesday impacts
Hmm.
across the Mid Atlantic and the Northeast. We're not talking. It's quite a few days out yet, so things can still
Yeah.
change. It interacts with a big trough coming across the Midwest here, so we'll have to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, and one thing I know here too is notice, as you get through the weekend, the different points there the Hurricane Center has out. There are 12 hours in between each of those points, and notice how close together they are. But as the storm gains latitude and gets up along the mid-Atlantic coast, you can see the dots actually get a lot further apart, meaning that the storm is going to get a lot faster as we get towards that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday timeframe, which is good news for us here in the Northeast. While not saying we can't get some kind of impacts here, whether it's wind, rain, a lot of coastal issues, I'm sure, but at least it will be moving at a decent rate. And, we're probably only looking at a 12 to 18 hour window that we have any impacts here in the Northeast. So again, a lot of things still on the table, and we're still good 4 or 5 days away from any impacts here, but we'll definitely be watching. That's for sure.
Well, beyond that, Brad, before we get to the hurricane, let's talk about the rest of today and the weekend. Honestly, in the Northeast, back home here. So the rest of this afternoon, there's a front kind of sagging through the Northeast, and that's pushing south, and that's also pushing the shower and thunderstorm activity a bit further south down towards New York and just south of Lehigh Valley and Pennsylvania into Philadelphia and D.C. Temperature's a little bit cooler, dropping into the low 80s, mid 80s is the hot spot in D.C. there. But, hey, heading into tonight, get that front pushing a little bit further south, Brad.
Yeah, high pressure starts to build in across the Northeast. In fact, I got sunshine here. I'm in the Poconos, and we've already broken out to some sunshine. So high pressure is winning the battle here, especially as you get north of New York City, and that'll lend to a pretty quiet night. Temperatures, for the most part in the 60s, some 70s there for the urban areas. Still some showers, though, as you get down towards Washington, D.C. They'll be closest to that frontal boundary. But, for the most part, the I-95 corridor is going to have a nice start here to the upcoming weekend. In fact, this Saturday, dry for the most part again, at least from Boston down towards Philadelphia. I think you're going to get a good first half of the weekend. Enjoy the sunshine. Shower chances do increase again down towards the nation's capital, but that's probably not until late in the day on Saturday. Probably more towards Saturday night, but it is going to be a warm one. Temperatures topping out mid to upper 80s everywhere. Humidity will start creeping back in as well, especially down towards DC and Philly. But overall, again, get out and enjoy Saturday if you can. You got outdoor plans. Tomorrow's the day to do it because Sunday, Mike, things do change quite a bit.
Yeah, things do change on Sunday. We do have a storm system moving across the Great Lakes up here, and warm front extending through Hartford, New York. That kind of moves through during the morning hours. There could be a few thunderstorms related with that warm front as it lifts through. But then it looks like things kind of clear out for a time. Maybe it's dry for a good portion of the middle of the day. But then these showers and storms could start bubbling up here over the mountains and gradually push east. And you notice those temperatures too, with that warm front pushing through, starting to hit the 90-degree mark again, 91 in DC. So we're not going to get rid of that heat and humidity, but like we said about the hurricane, Brad, if we start dealing with that on Tuesday and Wednesday, probably won't be quite as hot.
No, that's for sure. The heat index will be an issue on Sunday, especially for those areas that get into that warm sector south of the warm front. So, New York City, Philadelphia, you'll get into the upper 80s, low 90s, but heat index probably into the mid 90s, especially if we get a little sunshine in between the storms. So, it's not gonna be a washout Sunday. Don't cancel plans if you got anything going on outside, but definitely you have to keep an eye to the sky on Sunday. Not as much in the morning as maybe in the afternoon, but it's either way that storm chance will be around. But there could be some downpours too, Mike. I mean, it's gonna be a very unstable and very moist air mass again that that overtakes much of the area here ahead of all that tropical moisture down there with Isaias.
Yeah, good pronunciation, Brad. I like that.
Yeah. I think we've practiced it enough here at WeatherWorks for the last couple of days, and I'm sure we'll be saying it a lot more here into next week.
Okay. Well, that pretty much wraps it up, everybody. That's the weekend forecast. We'll continue to monitor Hurricane Isaias as we go through the weekend and into early next week. So come back to our social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll have updates on all of those. And as always, visit us at weatherworksinc.com.